¿Qué estás viendo? El podcast de cine de ADN 40, con Andy Montoya y Andrea Rendón. ¿Y tú qué estás viendo?
Escuchas ADN 40 Radio. ADN 40 Radio, siempre conmigo.
Well, first of all, thank you so much for your time, Patrick. I want to ask you what initially drew you into the role of Jacob Hassani in The Hunting Party.
Well, it was a combination of things. I love the concept of the show in general, but the fact that my character very early on defines himself as a family man. You can see the elements of him being a protector, of him confronting his own insecurities and his own fear, his ability to take action when action is necessary. Those are all really attractive qualities in a character.
And I also want to know, how did you find the realism in Jacob's character balancing the mission, the personal secrets, and his family life?
That was the balance of the things is actually what really immersed me in the character. That there's always something else going on. That even during the mission, and no matter how clear this next moment is, that he's got something to live for. That he's still responsible, not just for the team, but he's got to get back home to his family. So the balance of it is actually where the character comes to life for me. And being able to juggle all of those things. I think when a character doesn't have a human motivation underneath the action, it's harder to ground it in realism. But when they give their character a heart, and you know that he's got to hide things from other people for their own good and for his ability to accomplish the mission. And so always having that touchstone, that grounding force of the family, of the mission, of being responsible for this team and the safety of the broader public actually grounds me in the character in a way that I don't have to do too much. I can sit in the moment and know that the circumstance is filling the room with story. I don't have to generate it all the time. So I think that grounds me in the realism of it.
And as an actor, how do you see, the gray area between Hassani's ethics and the necessity in his line of work?
I love that. I love the question of what rules can we break? What ethical, like the broader social contract that we have, what part of those can be compromised in the name of justice? And I think, I think soldiers have to face that all the time. I think law enforcement has to face that all the time. I think on a day-to-day basis, in a much smaller scale, anybody in a leadership position has to make those decisions. So ethics are a complicated moving target. And so I love wrestling with that question. And I love that Hassani wrestles with it too.
And what has been the most rewarding aspect of working with the cast and crew in this series?
Honestly, the experience of filming. Everybody is so talented and so creative, and everybody's confident in doing their job. So all of our creative leaders, Jake and JJ running the story, are very accessible. They're willing to have conversations. They're open to creative conversations and dialogue, which is really rewarding. They're not threatened by us sharing insights or ideas about the characters, and that makes it a very satisfying process. And then showing up and getting to work with Melissa and with Josh and with Sarah and with Nick, there's like this mutual trust And no matter how dark and technical the sequence might be, we still have a lot of fun with each other because everybody's so competent in their jobs. And so one of the most rewarding aspects of this whole engagement is getting to work with this team.
What can audiences expect in the back half of the season, in terms of unfolding a mystery?
Part of what I love about the show is that there's the week-to-week mystery of how we're going to catch this person who we know is guilty of this thing that's about to happen. How do we stop them in time? But then there's also the deeper mystery of what happened in the pit. What was the blast? Who's behind it? Who's responsible for it? How are we each connected to it? And I think later in the season, we start to uncover, I don't know that we have answers, but we have new questions about how is Odell implicated? How is Shane implicated? How the leadership surrounding the pit, what they're hiding from us, who's being honest, who's being dishonest. So the deeper mystery around that whole operation gets uncovered just a little bit.
And last, I want to ask you, is there any serial killer storyline in the series that left, a lasting impression on you?
There's so many. There's one, I can't remember her name. The art professor who plots these elaborate murders and then places her victims into these works of art, and they're all inspired by the muses. There's something kind of twisted yet poetic about why and how, and then it's just how visually stunning she makes or orchestrates the crime scene. It just left this haunting image in my mind. And also, in my other life, I am a college professor, and so there's something about the connection of her being a college professor and being entrusted with the young minds of our students, and then for her to betray that trust and to be capable of such darkness, it really struck a nerve with me.
Well, thank you so much for your time and congratulations on the series. It's really, thank you so much.
Thank you.
¿Qué estás viendo? El podcast de cine de ADN 40. Con Andy Montoya y Andrea Rendón. ¿Y tú qué estás viendo?
Escuchas ADN 40 Radio.